For years now, Lake Michigan's Green Bay has been plagued by a dead zone. It's caused by the runoff of phosphorus and other nutrients from farms and yards. This summer, the dead zone might possibly be the biggest and most long-lasting yet. Republican Congressman Reed Ribble, who represents the Green Bay area, has launched an effort he's calling Save the Bay, and he's been holding a series of meetings on this problem. Congressman Ribble joins us now from our Green Bay affiliate, WBAY-TV. Congressman, good to have you back on the program. For people who are not familiar with this dead zone in the Bay of Green Bay, where exactly is it? How big is it?
Well, it's fairly large. It certainly spans over several miles, and it's along what we would consider the northwest shoreline of Green Bay or Door County, shortly out of the mouth of the Fox River. So the Fox River drains north from Lake Winnebago into Green Bay, and then the current takes the water to the north toward Lake Michigan, and that dead zone is off on the right-hand side along the northwest shore of Door County.
And when we say dead zone, Congressman, define that for us. It means what? Nothing can exist there in that part of the bay?
Yeah, that's correct. Everything's dead, basically. The only thing that's living is the algae that's been created. And so the fish are gone. You can't really swim in it. So those that would like to do the recreation there in the lake, they're not doing that. They're not fishing. They're not swimming. They're not boating. And so it's a real problem.
How urgent is the need to address this, Congressman? And I ask that because you look at what happened in Toledo back in August of 2014. Toledo, Ohio, on the shores of Lake Erie. The algae bloom there was so bad that folks couldn't drink the water for 2 days. It just simply wasn't safe. We're not at that stage, but how urgent is the need for action?
Well, because of the fact that the dead zone last year lasted for 40 days, it increased the level of urgency with both local elected officials and now federal officials to get engaged. I have had numerous constituents contact me throughout my time in office. I'm in my 5th year in Congress, complaining about blue algae in the Fox River, in Lake Winnebago, in Lake Michigan, on the shoreline of Lake Michigan, as well as Green Bay. And so we were aware of it. But it's always been there over the last 4 decades. It's been there, but nothing of this significance. And now that it's lasting so long and so large, I think we're really starting to get some action to really get stakeholders involved in fixing the problem.
Let's talk about the problem, because we need to agree on what's causing the problem. Is there agreement, consensus on what's causing this problem?
Well, certainly there's been enough study done that we know where the phosphorus comes from, and it's predominantly a phosphorus problem. Phosphorus is a very powerful nutrient. If it gets in the water, it triggers algae growth. And so you have to take a look at both point sources like you would find from industrial implications or alongside different industrial uses, and from urban areas, from water runoff on hard surfaces like parking lots, streets, sidewalks, and what have you, buildings. Those would be considered point sources. About 50% of the problem is point source, and then the other 50% is non-point source, which would come predominantly, not totally, but predominantly from agriculture.
And that's kind of an interesting issue, because you have, for example, dairy farms. You have operations up there that are important to the economy, and yet you also have people who are concerned about the safety of the water in the bay, the look of the bay. How do you balance those interests?
Well, first of all, you have to recognize that all those interests matter. And I think sometimes we have a tendency of creating a hierarchy of interest, and instead we ought to be looking at it more holistically. Agriculture in Wisconsin is about a $50 billion industry. In northeast Wisconsin, there's about 20,000 people employed inside the agriculture sector. So it's certainly a large economic driver. But that large economy also provides some scale with which to address the problem. We've seen on point source issues where industries really grabbed onto this and begin to treat their water before they release it back into the river. And I think we're starting to have some of our larger dairy farms talk in those same terms. And so I think that we're getting to a place now where people are really beginning to take this seriously, and they're looking to work together collectively to solve the problem, which I think is a positive.
Real briefly, the EPA instituted some new policies this week, I believe, that limit fertilizer runoff. Is that the kind of action that we have to look at to address this, or are you looking at other solutions?
Well, I think that's part of the solution, but in the long run, it's first you start with awareness. You recognize you have a problem. You create the awareness of it, which is what we're doing now. And then the second thing is you begin to share best practices. What is working not just here in Wisconsin but around the globe on dealing with phosphorus runoff predominantly caused by animal waste. How do you create buffer zones in fields? How do you till fields? What times of year are the best times to apply manure, for example? And you begin to share those best practices, and then ultimately you have the education aspect of it where the agriculture community pulls themselves into compliance to begin to solve their share of the problem. But remember, they're only about half of the problem. The other half is wastewater that's happening in our cities as well. So it's all of us working together.
All right, Congressman Reed Ribble, the Republican from Fox Valley area in the Green Bay area. It's good to have you back on the program. We appreciate it.
Hey, it's good to be with you. Thank you.
You bet. How safe are the oil trains that are running through our state right now? I'll ask the State Railroad Commissioner how prepared we are for a toxic train disaster. That's next on Up Front.